what did we do? We used to play pranks on the most dangerous man in the world, Ken Shamrock. So other people would go, you guys are just total idiots. But we used to do it all the time. We would
Rewind, Recap, Relive. For over 50 episodes, the revolutionary force in wrestling interview.
So I have another question, another aspect of tag team wrestling for all four of you is the travel. I mean, you mentioned how close you are, the relationship. Now you guys travel everywhere together. That relationship is real. So Headbangers, I'll go to you first for this. Any crazy travel stories or how that relationship's developed? Do you want to talk about that a bit?
let's just say we're glad. Let's just say we're glad they didn't have social media and stuff like that back when we were traveling.
Back in our day.
Thank God. It's funny because we just did an autograph convention this past weekend up in New York, and we were with Shamrock and Mark Henry and Big Show was there, and we were sitting there and we were telling like stories that we used to do. We always see we're it's not a gimmick to us. This is how we really are. We're crazy. We want to have fun and stuff like that. So what did we do? We used to play pranks on the most dangerous man in the world, Ken Shamrock. So other people would go, you guys are just total idiots. But we used to do it all the time. We would show up at the city a day early. So we would go golfing. Billy used to go, Gunn and Kenny used to go. So they were always in front of us because they always had to be first to do everything. So we would get mad at them and we would just undo their bags on the golf cart so they'd take off and the golf bags would fall off. We would be in the hotel and we would take the hotel trash can, fill it up halfway with water, lean it on the hotel door, knock on it. The hotel door swings in, the trash can falls over, all the water goes into the room. They're 9 times out of 10 wearing socks because nobody wants to walk around a hotel with bare feet. And then their socks get all wet and everything else. We had to pull that prank on Kenny 2 or 3 times, and then after the 3rd time, he would start coming after us in the hallway. And Shamrock's pretty fast.
So it only took one time to catch us, and
we were done.
No, but the thing on the road, being on the road together for so long, I mean, like I said, Glenn and I left April of '94, so I mean, minus a few years in between for the most part. I mean, we were glued to the hip. Hotel rooms every night together, in the car together every night. So, you get along really well, but then there's one of us will be in a bad mood and somebody does something else. It's like, you're chewing too loud. Shut the f up. But I mean, it's just, it's little silly shit like that happens. So, I mean, it's good because like Glenn said, he would have never went to Memphis by himself. I would have never left by myself either, because I mean, especially then for me, I was so green. Like I said, I wasn't even in a year yet. I didn't know anything. So to try and do something like that by myself wouldn't have happened.
It's so funny because the first night that we were in Memphis and we were at the Memphis Coliseum, he comes back in that night and he looks at me, we get in the car. He's like, dude, let's just go home. He goes, I'm not ready for this.
Hold on, go back. So the style in the Northeast, so I'll tell the whole story. The style in the Northeast, way different than the style in Memphis. So the style in the Northeast, which is where I had a few matches, was the heel called the whole match. The heel told the babyface, okay, here comes a hope spot. Fight back. Do this. Do that. The heel told you what to do. You got to Memphis. Oh, they didn't tell you shit. The heel just beat the shit out of you. So I went in taking the heat because Glenn was, the veteran. He's going to come in and he knows a better comeback and blah, blah, whatever. And I didn't mind it. I was still learning. It was no big deal. But we were in there with Doug Gilbert and Reggie B. Fine. And they just beat the shit out of me. I wasn't fighting back. I wasn't calling my own hope spots. I didn't know anything. So they gave us Bert Prentice as a manager. After the match, we get in the back and Bert just ripped me apart. He's like, you got to fight. You got to do this. You got to do that. Blah, blah. And I was like, nobody told me to. He's like, somebody nobody told you. I go, I'm used to somebody telling me what to do, when to do it. And they never did. So literally on the way back, we left there because the next night we had to go to Louisville, which was a 6-hour drive. So I think we drove to Nashville. And that 3-hour drive, we got to Nashville. I'm like, just keep going home. I'm like, I'm not ready for this. There's no possible way I can do this. Let's just go back, because Larry told Glenn that going to Memphis with me was a big mistake because I wasn't ready. And I was like, he was right. Let's leave. And Glenn was like, nope, we're not leaving. You're going to be fine. And again, I learned how to get around it and figured it out.
Rewind, Recap, Relive. For over 50 episodes, the revolutionary force in wrestling interview.